What's first, your relationship or your children? The JMA Podcast, Episode 9. This is Joyfully Married After with Heath and Tracy. I'm Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
We're joyfully married after how many years, baby?
26.
26 years, 4 kids, corporate jobs, entrepreneurs, and this podcast is our view on life through our lens.
Let's go.
Marriage or your children?
Me and the kids.
Children or your marriage?
Me and the kids.
You know, we've taken the same approach probably almost our entire marriage, right? It's like we have a saying. And the saying goes, if we're okay,
then they're okay.
and it has played out time and time again, right?
Sure has.
It is so important that you have sort of a default mechanism in the relationship. And what we found is that, you know, if you put too much attention on the children, then things can sort of get askew.
It can go sideways really quickly. It's not about them.
Right.
It's just not.
Yeah.
You are a joined couple on a journey with them.
Right. Right.
They are a product of your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They are their own people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're very important to your marriage, but they do not come first.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially women, I'm going to pick this time, make the mistake of making their children first in their life. That is a mistake.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about marriage in this particular
Yes,
scenario,
we are.
right? So we
Yes.
titled it, you know, kind of relationship, but we're talking about a marital relationship in this scenario, right?
Yes.
So if you are married and you have children, the thing that works best is that when you put the relationship with your spouse
First,
the children will be fine.
if we're okay,
They're okay.
every single time.
Yeah.
A good example for us is when we moved to North Carolina. We've been in North Carolina about 8 years. Oh my God, almost 8 years now.
Almost 8 years, baby. So it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. They did not want to move.
No. They were comfortable. They had little friends, and they've been living in the same place for a while.
Yep.
And so of course they didn't want to move.
We had one in middle school,
Yep.
2 in elementary school, and one was in college.
Yep.
And in order for us to move, the one in college had to move with us and had to sit out.
Yep.
Had to sit out.
And the one in middle school was a very pivotal time for her.
Yeah, that's a tough one when
Yeah.
you're just starting out on that journey. And
It
she probably took it the
was-
hardest.
was very difficult for her.
Yeah, it was
yes.
very difficult for her.
Uh-huh.
But the key was that it was during the recession.
Yep.
Or in the midst of it.
Sort of the
Tail end, I guess. And we needed to make a change. We needed to make a change financially for the entire family.
right.
And we were given an opportunity to do that through our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been phenomenal for us and for the family. At
Right.
the time, you can tell any of the kids that.
Mm-hmm.
None of them wanted it. They
But-
were all against it. They all went through a really difficult period when we moved here. And they still talk about it to this day. But the bottom line is we're good.
Yeah. Because it's very easy to look back on it, right? The whole hindsight being 2020. It's very easy for us to look back on that period and see if we hadn't have made a change.
Ooh, I don't know what would have happened.
Things could have gone financially sideways. We
Our
could have had
marriage.
some other issues.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, we're splitting up. And
Then where would they be?
how do the kids come out, right? Splitting time and all the things that come with
Right.
divorce. And so who knows what happens with them emotionally. And but you look at what we did and how things turned out for us and the state that the children are in. And
They're
it was-
phenomenal
it was-
now.
Everything was great.
They're great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's really important. So remember, if you're okay, if the marriage is okay, if your husband is okay, if your wife is okay, the kids are going to be fine.
Right. And, you know, as a reminder, of course, we're not throwing shade at anybody who's been
No.
through turbulent times, who've been through divorce and those kinds of things, who made whatever types of decisions in their lives. That's not at all what we're saying. We're talking about people who are in marital relationships.
And we're talking about us.
And we're talking about us and our experience and people who are listening to us and want to remain married. This is the best advice, the best practices that we found.
This is what we think.
Yes. So there you go.
So our parenting style is a little different too. Would you say? It's a little different.
Our parenting style is different from many people, I think.
I think so.
Well, old school, they ain't spare the rod. Old school, man, they break out the belt, go out there and give me that switch out the tree.
Oh Lord.
I got a paddle just for you with your name on it.
Yeah.
You better come in here and pull it. It was serious in the 70s, man.
In the South.
In the 70s, in the South, corporal punishment was the rule.
It was the rule.
That was the rule of law.
Your neighbor could spank you.
Hey, that thing was serious. All of my parents were not big on corporal punishment, but they were educators, and
Yes.
they knew all of my teachers.
Ugh.
And they gave them full carte blanche.
Yep.
They said, hey, if you get out of line, you got the green light. I was like, what?
And I went to parochial school. And so if you had to be corrected, you were corrected in front of the entire classroom with your hands on the desk and a ruler in the teacher's hand.
What's parochial school, baby?
Oh, no.
Is that Catholic school?
No.
What's
Christian private school.
This Christian private school. That's what they call it, parochial?
Yes.
So I've heard the term parochial.
It's parochial. It's Christian private.
Christian private school.
Yeah.
So-
They didn't play. They did the knuckles. They did.
I went to public school.
Okay.
I didn't go to Christian
I'm
private
sorry.
school.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
I went to Christian public school. And
What are you picking at me?
my parents gave them full green light. If he gets out of line in any way, you have my permission to tear in his hide or spank his hand or whatever y'all want to do.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
We don't do that. We don't do any of that with our kids.
Okay.
We do what we call direct, release, correct, repeat.
Because life is the great teacher.
And I'm not trying to raise these people for the next 30 years.
You got to learn now.
You need to figure this out. And we've done this since they were toddlers.
Now we did tap some legs every now and then when they were
We used to
they were
pinch.
younger.
Remember we used to pinch?
No, I didn't pinch. You pinched.
Oh,
I used to tap some legs.
I used to pinch.
Get over here, let me tap that leg.
Oh, yeah. But direct release, correct repeat. So direct is, and this takes the pressure off the marriage. If you have a style and you've discussed the style, you say, this is the way we do it. You understand that when the kid does something crazy. So direct is, I'm going to give you facts as to why you need to handle yourself this way.
I'll give you some direction.
I'm going to give you some experiences. I'm going to give you some personal experiences.
Letting you know.
So I'm just letting you know. You need to do it like this.
Because this is going to be better for you.
Okay. And then you let them go. You release.
Trust and believe.
Trust and believe that they are going to make a mistake.
When you release them, sometimes they're going to do the right thing. But of course, they're
think so.
young. They're young.
Yeah.
So mistakes will be made.
Yes. You release them to go do what it is they're going to do. Because
Right.
they're going to do it anyway.
And then what's going to happen, baby, after they are released and they start doing their thing? At work, I call that one that's the stadium side. You go to the stadium. You go to
no,
when
we're
people
not going to
making
get into all the different sides.
people
that
making
you hear.
making the sounds.
At
and
work.
It's like, Tracy, it's Tracy. So I call that one the stadium side because
Okay.
that's when you
Yeah,
go.
sounds like you're in a stadium. So back to what we were saying. We direct them with our experiences and what we think they should do,
Right?
facts, and then we release them to do what they're going to do.
Yep.
And then they're going to mess up.
They're gonna mess up a little bit.
And then we're going to say, you need to go back to what I said the first time. And let's talk about this. What happened? How did it go? Oh, it didn't go so well. Okay. So what are we going to do now with the facts that I gave you the first time?
This is the correction phase.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I got it now. And then you repeat that cycle until they get it.
There you
Because
go.
if you don't pass the class, you
You
will repeat it. That's how we do in the Turner household.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as they've become teenagers, it's a lot easier. Even when they were toddlers, it was easier. I think Addison, she was the easiest to potty train.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She was.
She was the easiest to potty. It was like one time. I put real panties on her one time.
Yep.
She was good after that. She saw that stuff running down. She's like, I don't want this.
She don't want that.
Never did it again. Never did it again. Because it was very simple. Go to the bathroom.
Right.
Don't stand there and pee.
She got it.
She got it. The other ones, it took different times, but it was the same technique.
Oh,
it was
man.
the same technique.
Man, the last time I went down the aisle at the grocery store and I didn't have to buy pull-ups for the boys. Oh my
Yay.
gosh. Oh my gosh. You would have thought I hit the lottery.
And don't use pull-ups. Just use them at night for bed. Don't use. Is that bad?
Pull-up game.
Shh. Okay, we're not going to talk about it.
All right.
Okay.
Pull-ups are great.
So direct, release, correct, repeat. It takes the pressure off the marriage.
Yep.
We apply this to everything with them. We apply this to how they eat.
Yep.
We apply this to their schoolwork,
Oh, I need my work.
the social life. I want a Sprite.
Okay.
You know, I want a Sprite. We don't buy soda in our house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the consequences of that. You all know what the consequences of that. We don't eat a lot of fried food in our house, and we know the consequences of that, and we stay on it. Yeah. We don't let stuff ride. We don't just let them keep going the wrong way. I'm gonna say something. And it keeps the pressure off the marriage because it's not an issue. We already did it.
Yep.
We already did the discipline. We already did the correction. We already did the direction.
Mm-hmm.
So when you give direction, you want to give facts and you want to share your experiences.
Yep.
When you release, you want to 100% release them to do what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Be there for them, but let them do what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And you definitely want to correct it.
Yeah.
Just because they went out there and did what they wanted to do does not mean it's always right, even if it didn't come out bad for them.
That's how
you
learn.
Still want to correct the situation.
Yep.
And then you just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Now, the other thing that Heath and I do is we always are on the same page when it comes to disciplining the children.
Yep.
Always. It's a communication thing, isn't it, babe?
It is. You got to talk about it, and we sort of know each other's strengths and weaknesses and how we operate. We know typically sort of our process, and we have our operational approach to That's that corporate coming through, right?
Yeah, it is.
So we have our approach, and we know how that we typically do it, and so that's why we're always on the same page, because we know it, we know each other, we get it. 27 years of marriage, so you just sort of know what it's gonna be. Like, even our kids come to us sometimes, they go, "You said the same thing Mom said."
Are you kidding me? I wonder how that happens.
So that's what it is. So do we have kind of like our rule? What's our standard rule when we get ready to discipline the children?
Yeah, the rule is Tracy says nothing.
So I'm the lecturer guy, right?
And they hate his lectures.
Go. You need to go talk to your daddy.
Because he can talk for hours.
Can y'all just spank me, please? I'm like the Jacksons, boys. Touch him.
It is. It's pretty bad. It's like I don't even participate.
Yep. Yeah. So they're gonna get the stern talking to. They're gonna get the full blown lecture.
I'm talking like at least an hour, guys.
Well, I gotta get comfortable, man. You sit down.
He gets his dinner plate.
Yeah.
He sits at the dinner. Make sure they sit down at the dinner. Turn off the TV. The phone is not there.
Yeah.
And they get the full blown high-end vocabulary, scriptural, everything lecture for at least an hour. At the least.
Oh, they're going to get it.
Sometimes they get it all together, too.
I suffer from chronic loquacious diarrhea or dysentery.
Oh, my gosh. So the reason why Heath handles this, because I'm not like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I definitely inherited that from the parentals, because my parents, like I said, they were into the corporate punishment thing. So I got all of the lectures back in the day, and I, much like my children, hated it.
I didn't get lectured.
Yeah.
I got my car taken away. I got all kind of stuff done. It was a no. I got to go nowhere. Had to stop doing whatever sports I was doing. That's how I was punished. It was no talking.
I mean, I used to get a little bit of punishment, but I got more lectures than anything else, and that's probably why I have so much wisdom to share, baby.
Oh Lord. Yeah, and I don't. And another thing that Heath and I agree on is that I don't discipline the kids. I'm liable to say anything. So my kids have a really, really strong base. They have thick skin.
They do.
They have thick skin because
Yes.
I'm just not good at that. My
Yes.
words can be very hurtful and direct, and it's just not good. It's not a good thing. So I've learned that about myself, and I've given that particular responsibility to Heath, and that's something that you need to discuss as a couple because that can mess up your relationship. If you don't like how your spouse is handling the kids, it can mess up your relationship. So you have to come up with a solution for that.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we've done.
Gotta make sure you agree.
You have to agree all the way around.
There
So the key here is that you do not let the kids come between you,
Right.
because there's no end to that. Once you start, even as a toddler who's going to go get the baby out of the bed for crying and who's going to nurse and who's going to change the diaper, that's where it starts.
Right.
That's where it starts. They will start running you on day 13.
Because you're training them what to do.
Yes. If you go pick up the kid every time they cry, guess what? That's the signal to them. That's how they communicate. So when you handle it like that, that's how they communicate. You cannot be at their beck and call, because at some point, usually past the age of 2021, some people 18, you won't be at their beck and call. You won't be there, and they won't know how to function.
Right.
And I see that a lot with young people today. They don't know how to function because their parents did everything for them.
Helicopter parents.
Oh, and they're real. They will sit up in the professor's office about a grade in college. They exist. I know some of them.
Yep.
So don't do that. That will put a strain on your marriage.
Yeah. And it handicaps the children too.
Yeah. In addition to that, it handicaps the children.
Yep.
So that was the end of that one. Thanks for joining us.
JMA Podcast. Thanks again for listening today, folks. If you liked any of what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. Tell a friend too. And you can engage us at heathandtracy.com for all the goings on in our world. Queen Tracy, speak to the people.
Bye, loves.